you're the guy in the dream. Yeah, okay. I can't tell you everything. And walks off. It's like that movie, you know, that, ooh, everything goes, ooh. I'm like, where's my keys? I gotta get the heck out of here. This is crazy. I didn't. Grandfather, what are you trying to tell me? This is too weird for me. I've never been through anything like this. So, we go through those rituals. We start doing those things. I start going to South Dakota with him. He just said, come, I need your help. Walk with me. I go to South Dakota. I go to where the Sundance is there at Greenwood. And that first year I supported, I was 95. I supported out. As soon as my feet hit the ground out of my truck, I think I told you this, I saw every elder from the past, their face in the trees. What trees they do have around that area. It was as big as the trees, the face of whatever, was in my mind too, or subconscious, but those elders, those men, ancient one, I was like, holy smokes, I'm out of here. This is getting weird. I said, I gotta go. Does anybody else see this? And everybody's like, what are you talking about? Just unload the truck. Come on, let's make a camp. Great. Somebody's going to explain this. So, I was like, don't y'all, they're looking right at me, too. Why are they looking at me? What did I do? There's nothing wrong here. So, I went on through it, and we had, I supported my elder. He was still dancing. And, there was some pretty amazing things happening to me in the lodge through my personal thing that I needed to let go of. I was really touched up there, and he told me, and we went to standing out and sat with him and told him what happened. And he said, yeah, you're going to dance. You need to dance now. And so I started preparing. In the meantime, we had a gathering. Another elder leader came from that dance that same year. They came down to Denison, Texas, and was doing a teaching and gathering lodge. And there was a local elder Lakota man from Pine Ridge. Him and his wife she was non-Indian, lived in the North Texas area. We didn't know him. We knew nothing. We didn't even know him. And but the elders from Greenwood was there having a gathering and teaching and all that. Well, her husband had passed. She had all his sacreds and all his things. And called up north and got a hold of, I think, Galen, Big Galen Drapo. And what do I do with this stuff? His family doesn't want it. Nobody wants his things, his sacreds. They need to continue doing what they do. So he called around. Well, he said, my son's down there, right there where you're at. So she brought it over to us. And my Choctaw elder and Bill Galen and I think John Zephyr was there. So they took it in the lodge. They said, well, it's all these sacred, so the spirit said, got to fast with it. So I drove my elder, and then we met them up there November 95 to go fast with that bundle. And we were out getting wood. We was out getting medicine one day. It was way off on that river, way back up in there. We were driving back, I saw this place. It just looked different than any other of these places with these kind of cliff spots along this road. But this spot just called me. It just I just felt it say something, And I was like, wow, I'm going to come back there. I need to come back there. And we drove on, got back to the house, and we prepared the medicine and all the things that we had got for this fasting that was coming up. So my back was hurting one day, and I thought, man, the only thing that helps my back is I'll just take and go walk. So I like to explore. So I took me some tobacco, and I got in my truck, and I drove back to that spot. I went and found that spot. And it was kind of the edge of those cliffs. It was kind of a high cliff area, but this one spot just dropped down, made a little valley, and went back up. So I parked right there. It just looked really neat because it was November, it was fall, the leaves had fallen. And It was kind of cloudy and windy, and it was pretty cool because I was wearing coveralls, and so I walked up this one side and climbed through, and as I was walking, I just began to think, what are we really doing here? I just kept thinking, what am I doing here? I started questioning a lot of things. What is all this I'm doing? There's a bundle, there's all this stuff, and these leaders, and man, I know nothing. But I walk around, and I get to this spot, and I'm thinking, wow, I didn't even know it. I was standing in all this sage. I was just right in the middle of it. So I went to back and make my prayer, and make my offering, and give thanks for the sage. So I cut some sage, and had me a little handful of it. Just felt like I needed that. And well, when I started walking in, I could feel something walking behind me. I could feel, and when I would stop, it would stop. Preston, I kept going, but I was carrying the sage, and I would say, we always take from the earth. We just take all the time. We think we want it. Here it is, I want it. There it is, I want it. It's mine, here, I want that. So I started thinking, well, I'm just going to give this back. So I'd go along and I'd see something, like I saw a dead bird, and I just gave some sage. Whatever came to me, I would just walk. And I just kept thinking, we just take all the time. We're always taking, we never give enough back. And I was walking through this one spot, got to these trees, and here's the fear factor. The cow trail went down off into the trees, off in this low spot, and it got real dark down there. I couldn't even see in there. Here's the easy way. Go up here, go around the trees. Okay, which way? Am I afraid? Am I going to go the easy way? I said, only way to learn is go this way. So I walk that way. And I go off in there, and it just gets real trees. The cows had kind of hollowed the trees out enough to make that trail. So I was crawling through it real up through it. And when I got through it, come out to the other side, and it was opened up. But if you've been to South Dakota, you see the land kind of rolls and it's real kind of smooth in places. But I saw this spot over to the right, and they had a real hard edge. It was just like a sharp edge to it, off in this area. And I was like, wow, that looks different over there than the rest. So I walked up there, and I got up there to it, and it was a crater. It's where something had hit there. And it wasn't all the whole crater, but it was, the land had already shifted, and there was a tree falling into it. So I just went down and sat down in it. Hey, check this out, it's cool, huh? And there was the dirt, everything was just real gray. It was all burnt. There was nothing growing there. There was nothing. There was a little bit of rock kind of sliding in it. So I just sat down in it. Check this out, just to see what I feel. Put some sage out. I guess I thought I knew what I was doing. I was still learning, I didn't know. But so I got up from there and just gave thanks and thought, wow, this is something they hit here from way out there. So I got up and I walked up to this place, and I got so far and it dropped way off. I couldn't go any farther. So I thought, well, I'm not going back the same way. I'll go back around this way. And remember, my name at that time was Spirit Hawk. So I was walking, and I got to some land. You had to sit on the edge, because it was all shifting around there. You'd have to sit on your rear, and you could jump down to the next level, walk out, and then sit down, and jump down again. And when I did that, I got to that third one, and there it was, right on the edge of that, where it dropped off before there was a stone.